So basically what we're asking is that you guys don't come for our heads when you watch this video. What's up, everybody? I'm back here with Ray. We're going to continue with our pronunciation analysis, talking about words that are commonly pronounced differently. You could call them mispronunciations, but things that for our ears either sound incorrect or strange and generally used in the business world.
Yep, so I just kind of noted some of these down as I heard them in different contexts. And Josh and I were just having a little bit of a pregame here talking about, what even constitutes a mispronunciation. And there's not even any agreement. If you look these things up, which I did as part of this, and like, all right, what does Merriam-Webster say, or Google, or whatever, and there's not even agreement amongst those. What is correct?
As a pronunciation coach, I run into this a lot, and it's impossible for me to teach all American accents, right? So generally what I do when I'm approaching an international ESL crowd is I say, hey, this is what for my ears sounds the most common and sounds the most clear. That's, I think, the direction that we're going with this. I found it interesting here when I was looking at some of the slides that we have. Ray created a nice set of slides for us, and I was looking at some of the mispronunciations, and sometimes those are my version of the pronunciation. And also, as Ray was saying before, if you look them up in the dictionary validates both versions. So we're not necessarily here to tell people that they should or can't pronounce something a certain way. We're just talking about our lived experience and what we were taught and what sounds comfortable and familiar to our ears.
Right. And some of these, for the most part, we're not doing too many regional things, although some may be like a regional preferred thing, and maybe that's the way Josh said things, growing up versus the way I did, or the way I did growing up is a whole separate topic, but which is why I got into this to begin with. But we're not going to be focusing on any like ethnic pronunciations or anything like that, or like misusing, substituting a word like mute for moot, like a mute point, which is incorrect. But we're just going to throw some words out there that you may hear in business. You may hear them more than one way. So if nothing else, you'll hear maybe a couple alternate pronunciations and you'll know what people mean by those.
Basically, what we're asking is that you guys don't come for our heads when you watch this video.
We'll get some real, true linguists, in the comments. That's fine,
Exactly.
That'll generate some reactions and stuff, maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe help.
So let's check out the first word for us here today. This one here, right off the bat, I think is pretty challenging for a lot of reasons. But, the I, E, CH, which sound do you use here? My pronunciation of this would be hierarchy. Hierarchy. How would you normally say it, Ray?
I say it hierarchy. So really emphasizing the and I have, well, not emphasizing, but it's just in there versus absent, but it is dropped a lot. So maybe that's going to be a theme throughout here. So kind of how do you see that in general occurring in English?
When I'm looking at this, the explanation I would give is that I'm giving it a little less formal pronunciation and a little bit lazier, right? I have 3 syllables. You have 4 syllables in yours. And the syllables that are being dropped are unstressed syllables. So some people could call it the lazy schwa. It's basically just cutting down to the most simple form and removing the syllables that aren't bringing a lot of value to the listener.
Gotcha. Now you also have some people from other English-speaking areas of the world saying these. Are we intercutting those right now, or
we're gonna go check them out right here, right now? So let's jump in here, and this is our friend Oliver. He is from New Zealand.
Hierarchy. Hierarchy. The company's hierarchy is complicated.
Okay, so
neither of us are saying that, right?
Neither of us are saying it. I mean, for me, it's really easy to understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he was saying anything else.
It's the same rhythm pattern. It is a different organization of the words. I think that this word is probably pronounced differently in different countries and in different parts of the U.S.
Yeah, for sure.
So cool. Ray, how do you pronounce this word here?
Yeah, this comes up in like an IT a lot because it's the whole like hardware and software everything's running on. It's the infrastructure. Now, and I say in-fra-STROOK-sher with an SHER on the end. Some prefer it as the in-fra-STROOK-cher, and I'll just pass it back to you.
I'm mature. I said infrastructure, sure. And I think that has to do that a lot of times when we combined TR, right, it can turn like tree, try, things like that. The sh is similar, but I really don't know why it would be different because it's not written like that at all.
Yeah. So it's 2DS. It has nothing to do with the spelling either way. But what I hear a lot of people saying in business, they drop that internal R sound after the first syllable and they just say infrastructure. And rather than infra.
Interesting. I definitely say infrastructure. Let's go to England with this one here.
Infrastructure. In-fra-STROOK-cher.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, the thing that stands out to me the most, he's stressing this first syllable. I mean, the same way we would. That's the primary stress infrastructure. But then for me, I can never get over the lack of the R. Like, so it's just like cha for me.
We need to update our infrastructure quickly.
Infrastructure, yeah. I would say infrastructure.
Yeah. And he's got that R within the second syllable there. So the rest is just like British. So, it is what it is. That's interesting.
I mean, that is the Boston accent too, right? The New England accent. Yeah. All right, next one here. How do you pronounce this one, right?
I say peripheral. So in computers, this is anything that's not your main computer. So your monitor, mouse, keyboard, those are all peripherals, or your peripheral vision, seeing out to the sides. I'll pause for you.
Okay, and you said it looks like you've heard peripheral.
Peripheral. Yeah, peripheral.
Peripheral. Yeah. That one feels hard to say. I would say also peripheral. Because that E, I mean, the E just has a lot of tension to it, and you actually need it's actually one of the more challenging sounds for non-native speakers because you have to really push your voice to go E, right? It's like peripheral or just peripheral or roll. It's like a little bit easier that way.
So this one's a little ironic because the easier way is actually a preferred way, but I think that IAL kind of sound is in a lot of other words. So maybe people are, and actually ChatGPT gave me this like guess for why people would say it another way. So that's kind of what was coming up.
What does it say? Stems from familial or territorial? Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Let's check out one of our guests here. Let's go to Australia.
Peripheral. Peripheral. That's just a peripheral issue, not our focus.
See, I think she said it different the first and the second time. She almost saying peri almost in the second time. Like the first time was like peri, and then the second time was like peri.
And in the first pronunciation, it's like I don't know the right term for it, but kind of contracting that third syllable it's almost peripheral. Okay, that's what I'm hearing.
Oh, let's listen again.
Peripheral.
Peripheral.
It's almost completely collapsed.
Peripheral.
But overall, no one's going to think she's saying anything else there.
Well, the thing that really matters the most at the end of the day is stressing the same syllable is usually what makes it understandable.
Yeah, if you're an English speaker and if you're listening to a non-native English speaker and they're emphasizing different syllables, that's one of the things that makes it the hardest to understand what people are saying.
This one right here, like I never in school was taught how to pronounce this word. It's a word that is common now with technology. Yeah. You always have to clear this thing, but I didn't learn. So
it's cache. So in your browser, you can have leftover files that are sitting around from prior sessions. They're in your cache. And in any application you're running on your machine can have that kind of like resident memory where things are stored and kind of for efficiency, and it's swapped out from there rather than reading from the hard drive or again from the internet. So that's in the cache. Yep.
To me, Cachet seems fine, but it does sound more French. But obviously, like a lot of English is just French. I actually read somewhere that English is just poorly pronounced French.
Well,
But
yeah. From a broader sense, a cache is like any kind of stuff that's in storage too. So that's why the image is there.
I think our friend from Washington, D.C. has that in mind when he is just looking at this for the first time. So let's check this out.
Cachet. Cachet. The soldier had a cachet of weapons.
He's talking about not the browser, right?
Yeah.
He's talking about
Right.
a stash of weapons here. So
yeah, and this is one of those things, right? So that is probably like the most common alternate pronunciation. Like, when does it rise to the level of accepted alternate? I don't know, but yeah, you would know what he meant.